live in this Twin Sports TV.
Hey, y'all know what time it is. It's Twin Talk.
It is.
We in the building.
We
about to get it in. And this is a great topic. I'm talking
is.
about. This is a hot topic. We've been wanting to get to this for a while.
Yep.
What's the name of that? Twin Talk.
Does bad language have a place in youth sports?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Zip it.
That's a good one.
Zip it.
We hear a lot about this
Zip
one.
it.
This is a great topic to talking about. We're talking about, does bad language have a place in youth sports? And we're going to take it from the aspect of parents or the fans in the stands,
right?
People watching the game and that kind of thing. The language that athletes, referees, and everybody hear coming out of the stands.
Right.
That's kind of the perspective.
And sometimes from the coach's perspective. We're going to get into that too.
Yep.
Both. All of it.
Yep.
Because it all boils down to one thing. These kids. Hey, get your game up.
Woo.
Talk.
Hey, it's Twin Sports TV on Twin Talk.
Hey, we getting our game up. We got a hot topic today.
We do.
Hot topic.
Does bad language have a place in youth sports?
Right. That's it.
We're going to find out. And we went to the web like we always do. And we found a great article in the Washington Post talking about this very topic. So I'm going to read the article and then we're going to kind of get it in.
Right.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. So you can chime in too. Get your questions, your comments, concerns.
Let us know.
And we're going to bring them on the screen.
We're rocking on all platforms. So hit us up on IG too.
Right.
IG, YouTube. Definitely go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe and hit that like button and smash it. Hit it. Hey.
Okay, let's go. All right. This is what the article says. My 16-year-old son referees are for a hometown sports program. He's pretty young and he's getting it in early. I like that. Everyone who plays and works at these games is from our community. Right. There are no tryouts and everybody who signs up can play. The league is focused not on high-level competition, but on kids playing together. I like that. I dig it. All right. A few weeks ago, my son was officiating basketball playoff games for girls in grades 3 to 6. During overtime, in one particular close game, my son called a foul on a player. Her father, who had been grumbling about calls throughout the game, cursed at my son. A paid adult supervisor told the parent his behavior was unacceptable and escorted him out of the gym before allowing the game to continue. This behavior from parents is all too common in many youth sports events in the United States. There has been a huge drop-off in the number of available referees and officials in youth sports due to the obnoxious behavior of parents, says Rick Wolf, a sports parenting expert. He's also the author and 20-year host of the WFAN radio's The Sports Edge. A recent study by the National Federation of States High School Association shows around 80% of new officials give up the vacation after 2 years. It's a problem that has received wide attention. Former U.S. women's national team star Abby Wambach and Glenn Dole famously advised on social media that parents suck on a lollipop during youth sports events to keep
and that's interesting.
To keep themselves from losing control. They need to hit that lollipop. I love it.
Yeah.
That's what they do when they watch their children play soccer. Apparently, self-control at youth sports hasn't caught on yet. One organizer of a youth soccer tournament in Eden Prairie View, Minneapolis, banned parents from watching from the sidelines because of chronic bad behavior. Wow, they put the word chronic in there. That's pretty bad. But what incites parents to lose their temper during youth sports events? Question. And how can we curb this behavior?
Right.
So that's what leads us to our topic. Does bad language have a place in youth sports?
Right.
What do you think? Questions, comments, concerns.
Let us know. All right.
Have somebody tuning in with us. Andrea Jackson. Hey, ready. They're ready to get it in with us.
Talk.
Yep.
Hey, does bad language have a place in youth sports?
Right.
Now, it's a difference from the youth, the little league, and high school. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I know a lot of these high school coaches because, hey, those guys are they're bigger, they're older. They might can deal with some of the language depending on, what it is and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But when we talking about the babies, as we call them, little league, youth sports, it's
the elementary school kids.
Let me, I want to know, are you one of those parents that does not mind that your coach cusses out your kid and they're like 8, 9, 7, 6 years old?
Right. Chime in. Let us know where you stand. Because, with these referees not wanting to ref these games and that kind of thing, it's been a big issue. They hear a lot of things out there on the field or on the court or whatever coming from the fans.
Where's our referees
Yeah, let's put them up there. There we go.
Referee says they don't want to hear it.
Right. They're saying time out on this.
Time out.
Time out, twins. We need to talk about this because it's a problem.
Man, we was at a basketball game and one of the parents, I guess one of the kids didn't do something right or whatever on the court. And the parents just started cussing and fussing. I mean, really loud in the stands. So, of course, there's kids all around and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then there's some parents who really didn't want to hear those words.
Right.
So
it's one thing to be frustrated and upset. Mm-hmm. It's the words we use to convey that. That, I think, is the issue that we're talking about.
So the parent kind of turned around and tried to ask the other parent, if they could stop using those words and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so the other guy got offended.
Right.
So I'm just trying to understand.
Right. He thought it was his right to be able to be frustrated and upset and yell out
and curse using foul language. And you got kids around, you got elderly people around, other adults. Let us know, what's your thoughts?
Right.
Should these people learn to dial it down? Should they suck on that lollipop like that person was saying in the article we just wrote?
Right.
And kind of be quiet during the process.
Is it really that serious at a young age?
Right. Exactly. Let us know. Let's see. The only guy that can curse, like, there you go, your dad and your coach. Oh, you said the only guy that can curse me is my dad and coach.
So you okay with your coaches cussing you out?
Okay.
Is that what you saying?
And what age, though? Let us know. Somebody on Instagram said they okay. Is their dad and their coach. You know what I'm saying? Somebody talking about Dallas, where we're going to be down there in Dallas, Texas. Hey,
we'll see. Keep following us. We'll let you know. We'll, when the schedule comes out for that.
Exactly.
Hopefully we'll see you down there.
But right now we want to know about bad language in youth sports. Is there a place for it? I mean, how do we deal with this? Because it comes from actually the parents. Sometimes it comes from the coaches and that kind of thing. Because we was at a game one time when a coach was actually cussing out a referee, and then the athletes just start cussing the referee out too.
Right.
So what? And when does it start? Or are we setting bad examples for these kids? Yeah. Or are we confusing them? Right. Because if you look at it, you can't go to school and curse out people.
Right.
Sometimes in some people's homes, you can't curse out your parents. So some of them you might, but most, I will hope, you can't cuss out your parents when you're out in some kind of public forum, when you're going to church or whatever you're going.
Being professional somewhere, you can't.
You can't curse people out. But then we allow them to act like this at games and sporting events.
Right. Is that okay?
Is that okay? Or is that confusion? What are we showing? What's the example that we're setting for our young people? Mm-hmm. Let's see what comments
somebody
we got.
Said there's always a place and a time, but when people start, it gets way too far.
Exactly.
I agree. You could be frustrated,
right?
And trust me, being a mom, a dad, and the fans, I can relate. You can be frustrated, but there's a time and there's a place.
Exactly, and I think you can express yourself kind of hard without using foul language,
right?
Because my nephew, when he was 5 years old, had a great coach. This coach was very firm, very firm to get 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds to play football at a high level.
Where the coaches were not even on the field.
Right.
At 5 and 6.
5 and 6 without cursing them out, without really being foul and vulgar, just being firm. Right. And using those words and those little faces can really get them. Took the team all the way to the championship because we won't say that they were soft because they were a dominant team.
Right.
So I'm just trying to say at 5 years old, if a coach can learn how to get the kids to do what they need to do without using that language, can everybody kind of adopt that or what?
I think they should be able to break it down to a 5-year-old level. And at 5, they shouldn't be cussing.
Right.
So if they shouldn't be cussing at 5, then I don't think you should break it down to them with cussing, using those kind of words.
Right.
You know, you got to break it down to where they can comprehend it, where it's simple, where where it doesn't frustrate you and the child and cause more confusion.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And same goes for the parents in the stands. I mean, they're there to ultimately at that young age to have fun, to build relationships, to learn the basics and fundamentals of the game.
Right.
You know, or maybe do you think we should have separate leagues? One for, well, I don't think it should be separate leagues. I think
we should just get it together.
We just need to put those lollipops in our mouth.
I want to ask some of the coaches out there, is cursing these kids out making them a better athlete? Or can you do it without?
Right. Is there a problem with, with doing it without? Is that the issue? Are we struggling as adults?
Right.
To coach or to mentor or train without using those words? Are we struggling with that? Are we
teaching discipline but don't have discipline ourselves?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Put up my little thing right here, because this is funny with some of the parents. Because some of the parents really, I just love this meme right here.
Right. It says, "Look at my dad. He's throwing a tantrum because I missed the ball." And these kids are out there laughing. If you can't see it, it's a baseball pick. They out in the outfield because the kid missed the ball, and he's looking at his dad like, "Yo, are you serious?" He's laughing at me because I missed the ball. I'm just a kid.
Yeah.
And I think that says it all right there.
Right. Yep. That is so funny. Hilarious.
You can be upset or whatever, but to be throwing a tantrum, to be throwing foul,
and then yelling from the stands, because half of the kids can't even hear you anyway.
Right.
So it's really the people around you that's kind of annoyed by it. Right. Or the referees, because they do try to get in on them refs.
I wonder how many parents really say their kid come home and heard them yelling and screaming inside.
Right. Right.
Trying to tell them to do something or, to adjust themselves or whatever. That's a rare occasion unless you're just got one of them bullhorns out there like some moms or dads do.
Right.
And just saying a bunch of stuff really loud.
Now, what about these parents who, we just went to a football game where the parent was down there cussing the coach out on the sideline. Just cussing the guy out to the point where they had to bring the police in. I'm trying to understand, is it that serious at a 8U game that you got to stand on the sideline and cuss the coach out? All the coaches, so they all turning around. Everybody turning around looking at you on the sideline. I'm just trying to figure out, is it really that serious?
And it's always that person that looks around like, what?
Like, what did I do when the police show up?
What? Are you serious?
We just don't understand. We just looking down there like.
Because we travel a lot of games.
Right, all over.
City to city, state to state. We're all over to a lot of different sports. And we hear and see the most, sometimes just
some degrading stuff with these young kids that's like 9, 8. They be talking to them like they're adults.
Right.
Like they supposed to know. Well, one parent told us like at 7, you ought to be balling. Like 7 years old.
Like it's a whole nother, like you on a
whole
nother level. Like
they ain't playing around.
No more fun and games. No more fundamentals. No more foundation being set. You just out there, you balling at a high level.
Yeah. And I know Georgia here, we take sports really serious. I know we do. We just trying to say.
We're trying to talk about, does bad language have a place in youth sports?
Yeah, because we looking at the future of the kids, because if you don't want them to go to school and cuss the teacher out, then why are the coaches cussing the kids out? Because that's what that leads to. And we know it do, because we have proof, because we seen it.
Yep.
The parent was like, I don't understand why my kid is going to school cussing the teacher out.
And he's never done this before.
Never done this before until he got on this team. And we said, well, you might want to stop dropping your kid off and leaving and actually sit here and look at what's going on with these coaches and how they talking to your kid.
Because one of them had the most
foul in his mouth. So I'm just saying.
And then he was a deacon in church on Sunday.
Oh, don't tell nobody that.
How does that happen?
Right. Boy, I mean, we've seen some stuff. So parents, you got to watch out. You can't just be dropping your kids off all the time. You got to make sure you know who these coaches are, what they doing, and the people that's around them. Because you may have you got some good coaches in there, but it might be the people around
And I want to
them.
give my hats off to those good coaches.
Right, because
that can do it right. And that's teaching these kids, giving them the foundation that they need. And I think those are the kids that ultimately be successful. Whether it's in the sport or whether it's something else in life. But if you can mold that kid at a young age, age with good moral values, you know, and positive influences in their life, it goes a long way.
Right. We like to have the fun. We like to keep the fun in the game. And, you know, I know sometimes you can't win every game, and it's stressful. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know how to self-control, to be disciplined in front of the young kids. Now, when you're in high school, it's
somebody chimed in.
Yeah, what they say? You just don't do that, and
somebody chimed in and said, you just don't do that, and it is about having fun. And sometimes when parents get heated, it makes not so fun for the kid.
Right. I think
so, because they're just kids.
And sometimes it kind of embarrass them, and the people don't even, the parents don't even realize it.
Right. And like somebody told me one time, like, let's say on a 5-year-old. That 5-year-old, you got to take it from their perspective. They've only been on this planet for 5 years. Now, you, however old you are as an adult, has been there a lot longer. 5 years. They have not experienced that much. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna make mistakes and that kind of thing. And to degrade or really use vulgar language, you're scarring them. You might not see it right then, but it hangs with them. That's just like a bullying incident. It just don't go away. That stuff stays there, and then they're expecting, or you could take it from a situation whereas then as they grow up, they think in order for them to perform their best and do their best, they have to be cussed out. You have to bring these extreme measures in order for them to be the best that they can be. And I just don't agree that you have to do that. You don't have to go to that extreme on the negative side. Let's put the extreme on the positive side.
And you still just be firm. But there's a difference.
There is.
That language.
Yeah, I just think you don't have to be that extreme.
Because like this crazy story, we had a football game where the quarterback, the team was losing. They got kind of like blown out. And of course, the dad on the team that lost, he was mad at the coaches. So at the end of the game, he just started cussing them out. It was so loud, you could hear it over to the other side of the field. And the crazy part, this kid, and they were in high school, and this kid was so embarrassed that he literally had to pull his dad back and tell him to go. This is not the place and the time for this. He was so embarrassed that he had to go and apologize to the coaches on behalf of his dad. That's just embarrassing. But it's so commendable for him.
That shows character on the kid. Through it all.
But we just got to cut all this out.
There's got to be a way to do it without the language. Because we've seen it done.
We have. Firsthand.
Yep.
And the thing is, youth sports is getting so competitive. And we know everybody wants to win.
And could that be the problem?
Yeah.
That is so competitive.
It is. It's so competitive and everybody want to win. But we have to take time and dial back and really look at what we're doing with our kids and their futures, and you know what example we really want to set.
Yeah, because in that article they were going on to say that today youth sports are a $15 billion, not millions, but billion-dollar industry in the United States, and a big commitment of time and money for parents and their children. The results is more pressure to perform and less fun for young athletes.
Exactly.
That's where we need that pressure to perform. I think is driving a lot of this, and parents are shelling out so much money for their kid to be successful and to win no matter what at all costs, that pressure is boiling over to extreme measures when it comes to like parents just relaxing and watching their kid perform. You got to learn to entrust your investment, or you're investing in the wrong spot. That's how I see it. You got to trust the investment. You got to entrust that you put your child in the good hands of good coaches, because you as a parent should vet the coaches. You know, trusting you put them in the hands of good trainers, that they're going to lead them in the right direction. So therefore, if you're making good decisions as a parent, investing your kid in those areas, you should be able to sit in the stands and relax.
Yeah, win or lose.
Win or lose. I mean, because they have to learn through failures as well as success. You can't just win. Because there's a lot of kids on these winning dominant programs, and you don't see them starting in high school, and you don't see them getting the scholarships for colleges, playing at the next level.
We need to do a survey or study with that, because there's a lot of dominant programs at the youth level that really drill these kids. That's all they want to do is win, win, win.
Right.
But for us, we're with the total athlete. So we want to know, what is the success after that youth sports league that these kids, what is the percentage of them that go on to high school, they go on to college, and they go on to the pros?
Right.
What are the characteristics
or
that
even
these
not
schools,
even the pros? What about just getting into college to get a great education?
I'm just saying all the way up, as
true.
you can make a survey
Right.
to see what the percentage is of people
far
on
it
each
goes up.
level.
Right.
Because a lot of them drop off early. They might be dominant when they're in that youth league and that rec park, but when they get to high school and stuff, it kind of divides those who really want it and those who don't.
Somebody else got a good one. Kids copy off their parents. So if you cuss, do you expect your kids not to do the same?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's so important. Exactly.
Because we hear a lot of foul mouth in the stands, and
Yes,
and then you want to be upset if your kids cussing or whatever.
Now we know it. No one's perfect.
Right.
Maybe something may
we're not
slip
saying
out
that.
every now
Exactly.
and then. But we're just talking about that vulgar language, like and being directed at a kid in particular, or the team is just
or a coach or a referee.
That's what we talking about, the real language.
Like I think last year or a couple of years ago when they had that brawl at a basketball game where the players off the team, they were traveling in from another state
I think it was
and
Texas.
ended up fighting the referees.
Oh,
like,
wow.
when does that happen where we're losing that kind of control that the bench clears, not to fight the other team, but you're clearing to fight the referee? That's a problem,
Adults. That's crazy.
That's unheard of that we're losing self-control. And I think we need to get back to self-control. We need to start teaching our kids self-discipline.
We love it. And that's what it's all about. Teamwork. Kids got to learn to do, being responsible.
What they don't want to do when they don't want to do it. They have to learn that to be successful. Self-discipline is the key to turning this all around. Not only for the athlete, but as the parents. We got to have self-discipline.
Somebody said they want to join us on IG. Y'all want to join us on IG?
Hey.
Y'all want to get it in with the twins? Let's go. Hit us up. You want to join in on the conversation? We want to hear from you.
Right.
Let us know.
We do.
But yeah, this youth sports, the bad language to us has got to go. Right. I mean, but we know this not a it's not a perfect world. There's gonna be some things, some
situation, but it just seems to be really getting out of control. Does bad language have a place in
They
youth
say
sports?
Kids and parents are a package deal. As parents, reputations gets known as the kids gets older. Coaches who want that kid regardless of the talent.
They want that kid regardless of
the coach. will not want that kid regardless of the talent. You're right. I think because you know what I think it is. It's so much talent out there now that a lot of, especially with these schools, they're choosing people with better behavior, the grades. They're looking for that character to fit their team.
Yep.
So you're absolutely right. It's so much talent. Back in the days, you get a few kids here and there that'll pop off, and it's just you got to have them, and no matter what, people try to work with them, with the behavior issue and stuff like that. But I think now it's getting so
They're
big.
getting away from that because there's so much talent out here now.
Exactly. You can win with good talent, good grades, and good behavior. That's what we just saying.
Yep. We just want the kids to be
you can join. Hit us up.
Fun. We just want the kids to be nice and have fun.
Exactly. That's what TwinSportsTV is all
about. And learn at the same time because it can be done. I think we need to get away from this pressure that we're putting on our kids. Think of 5 years on this planet and we're putting so much pressure on them. 5 years.
That's why we come out, because we want to put the smiles on their face.
We do. We want to cheer them up. It doesn't matter.
We want to give them hugs
or draw
and all that kind of stuff. So all you coaches that don't want TwinSportsTV to hug all them babies down there, we're going to do
take
it.
them pics,
we don't care. We're going to take them pics, them selfies.
Because we love it. And they go hard and they play hard and they have so much more fun when it can be a fun environment. And that's what we try to create.
And we want to give them an interview too. We want to talk to them. I don't care if they win or they get blown out by 50 points.
Right.
TwinSportsTV, we want to talk to you.
We do.
So if you want to interview
because
with
there's a lesson to learn in
exactly. Hit us up. We don't mind. We want to put you out there because the more exposure you get, the more opportunities you get in the long run.
And it shows good character if you can lose that game and then come and talk about that game.
Exactly.
Right.
Or just talk to us, period.
Right. We got to talk about the game.
Yeah.
You can talk about what's going on. Talk about yourself.
Exactly. So hey, get it in. Let's get it in with the twins. That's what we do. Hey, this Twin Talk. Make sure you hit some of our other videos. We got a lot of hot topics of youth sports that we cover, and this is Twin Talk. You're talking with the twins. You're getting it in with the twins. We love y'all. Y'all know what? Be your best self, because the best is yet to come. Woo!